Hey guys, this is Molly Mall, and for a new upcoming podcast, we are coming around the time of San Diego Comic-Con, and it's really exciting for us because we've been trying to do this for a long time. We're finally actually doing it. We're going to talk about some of the things that we found were really cool about San Diego Comic-Con and probably other relying things. Saw some pretty good trailers out there. I'm also sitting with other two people who are here for this podcast. Go ahead, guys.
Hey everybody, my name is Oscar. You can follow me at Oscar. Fuck, what was my Opimi1
Yes.
on Twitter.
Opimi1. Yes. By the way, I'm NerdSpice Pod at NerdSpice Pod.
You can just
on
reset
Twitter.
your Twitter, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Opimi1.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, like it's Opimi1.
OPIMI1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look in the description.
You know what? It's gonna be there. There's gonna have links.
Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
And I am Saya. You can follow me at SiaJ_Andre. That is SIAHJ_ANDRE.
Wow.
I mean, I just want to make.
What is this link?
It feels like
I just want to make sure people are able to find it.
Sidebar, I know this is like our first podcast, but it just feels like I'm talking to an audience of like 100,000 people. They're all blacked out, and they'll fill up occasionally over time. It still feels like I'm talking to a bunch of people, and it hurts a little bit inside. But I'm thinking we're gonna get through it. I'm just telling you the visual I just had.
Yeah, so we're, like Molly Mall was saying, we're just doing this really candidly. Kind of just getting our feet wet. We really don't know where this is about to end up. If this is your first time listening to any podcast in general, welcome. I am glad that you decided to join us and allow us to bring you into this new world.
So,
If you're used to listening to podcasts,
boy.
I hope that you stick around and listen to us and put us in your rotation because, you know, it'd be nice to have other people to talk about the stuff we love talking about with.
I do follow back, and with podcasts, I will listen to your podcast maybe.
Oh yeah, we always follow back, and I like finding.
I may or may not follow you.
We will follow you back and delete you later.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the docket and consider whoever wants to join. But yeah, so
I keep looking at this Starfire, and
we'll get to that.
I can't.
We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so that was pretty much us just introducing ourselves, having our social media plugs and all that. So yeah, recently San Diego Comic-Con happened. Comic-Con always feels different, like every year. Like I remember being in high school and just like getting to know Comic-Con, you know, getting to watch panels of shows that I, you know, like and follow, getting to see cast members from movies, just talk about the movie, talk about the whole process and things like that.
I didn't ever really get into it until like you and Jordan started talking about it. Like I always knew the Comic-Cons were going on, but I never like in depth looked into them. You know, I'd see straggler news articles around and again, and then somebody would fill me in the gaps. But I never really paid attention to the actual convention.
Comic-Con for you is E3. The only downside
Who are you telling?
the only downside is E3 is actually live streamed.
Yeah.
So all of our information is like, hey,
Trickles down.
It's like
you gotta.
It's like somebody
reliable.
somebody puts out a tweet and they're like, I just like saw a little bit of like Angelina Jolie's hair walk by or something. Like I saw her walk around the corner. I know that shape. I remember it from like Maleficent or something. Like it's like that. It's like a tweet and then you get really excited and it has like over 200 retweets. And I'm like it's nothing, but we won something because we don't have the money to actually go.
I'm getting hip to all of this comic culture, especially on Twitter. You guys are some interesting people. I'll leave it at that. I love Twitter. It's great.
Twitter.
It's
a thing.
It's a thing.
It's
like
a thing.
I like following Twitter just to see what people say. But then once they start getting into like the fan wars, I'm like,
we'll talk
dude.
about the fan wars.
Oh my
that
Jesus.
is.
It gets
We
wild.
should do comment of the day.
Comment of the day.
Better comment of the day.
Oh, like go
Give
through
them some
Twitter.
context. It doesn't have to be anything in relation to our post, but
Uh-huh.
to the post of someone else.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, speaking of Comic-Con, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think was actually really cool to come out of Comic-Con was the return of Clone Wars.
Oh my God! Let me tell you.
Now, I really can't say much on this because I haven't seen Clone Wars, so I have to watch it. Molly Mall and Oscar can probably talk about it a little bit more, so I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys talk about it.
More. Yeah.
Listen, okay, so I came around a little late to watching Clone Wars. It was already finished, so I was able to binge it. Sorry for those of you who had to watch it live. But I binged it all, and I didn't watch anything while I was watching Clone Wars. I binged all the way through it. Ventress, Count Dooku, all of them were just great. And their power was more... I liked how their power, like Count Dooku and Anakin and Obi-Wan, like their power was very, vibrant in the Clone Wars rather than the prequel movie. We'll talk about that. I'm sure we'll have a Star Wars episode, but we'll leave it at the prequel. But no, like, just for instance, the scene, one of my favorite scenes was when
wait, is that a spoiler?
For Josiah.
And for the people listening,
who has not watched? Who's it besides me?
It's like 2000 what?
Okay.
No, this show was made in 1926.
But hasn't seen it. So.
By the time I make it to Clone Wars, I'm not gonna remember because I already have so many shows to watch right now.
Okay.
Spoiler. Skip ahead a minute because that's all I'm gonna spend on this. So Ventress was going to assassinate Count Dooku. This is one of my favorite fight scenes ever.
Yeah.
She was going to assassinate Count Dooku with her other sisters. And they got as far as being able to blind him or obscure his vision. So he says this boss-ass line, "I don't need my eyes to fight you." And he beat them. Well, he didn't beat them. He held his own. They couldn't touch him, basically. They had to run away. And, I didn't get that in the movie. Like, yeah, he's Count Dooku. He's moving his arms. But this was an example of what a Count can do or the hierarchy of the Sith. And I love the Sith. So that's just something I like. I like their portrayals of the characters, and it just feels like they paid more attention to detail. And honestly, I can't really compare it to the movie because it's a show form. Shows give you a longer time to do character development. You can't. You only got 2 hours or so in a movie, so of course you're not going to have as much time there. So I don't even know if it's a fair comparison.
So with me in Clone Wars, I watched it when it originally came out. I watched the movie. My brother and I watched it. I remember how disappointed we were in it because we thought it was kind of dumb. It was like, let's rescue Jabba the Hutt's nephew or whatever. But I watched it grow. I watched it become what it was. I was buying some of the toys, and then I kind of fell off, and then I got back on again, and I saw how good it was, and then it got canceled when Disney, bought LucasArts or Lucasfilm. And then Nicki Minaj. Netflix. I'm reading. I just read Nicki Minaj. Netflix bought the Clone Wars for their last few seasons that they didn't release. And Netflix put those unreleased episodes. And I was like, okay, this is a nice little wrap up. I understand. I really liked the show. I liked what they were doing. And I understand that maybe Disney might not be able to touch on that same feeling as they were trying to before. I saw bits of Rebels. I was sorely disappointed with Rebels. So
Y'all gonna stop crapping on Rebels.
I'm sorry, I did not touch Rebels. I could not get into it.
Rebels for me was a whole... I saw what Disney was trying to do. I was not about it. I could see a lot of people would be fans. I was just not one of them. That's not something I would spend my time on, but I know other people would.
Well, I would say this. Rebels Season 1, it's very much child anime. Well, not anime, like animated shows.
I don't want that.
It's very much a kid's show. Once you get into Season 2 with the return of Darth Maul, and you start learning more about like the Jedi and the Sith.
Darth Me.
No. M-A-U.
What?
Like once you start getting into Darth Maul and just learning more about like the Jedi and the Sith, like they start exploring like Sith temples and stuff like that. It gets really good. I like it because it's following a time period of Star Wars that has been overplayed so many times, but it still keeps my interest, especially with the characters. Like Kanan, I feel like Kanan is one of my favorite like characters in Star Wars history ever. Like Obi-Wan is probably my favorite Jedi. I will put Kanan. I will put Kanan underneath Obi-Wan. That's how much I like Kanan.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's with the Jedi and all that stuff. That's just my personal opinion. That doesn't mean I don't like any of the other characters.
Yes, it is. Don't like them.
Yeah,
it's okay if you want to share.
There are still a lot of Star Wars characters that I need to read up on. I came into Star Wars really late. Well, not super late. It was like middle school.
It's not even a complicated.
That's
series.
not even that late.
They're not even that good, to be honest.
we just lost like 20 listeners.
That's fine. I'm ready for it. If we all want to have a discussion, y'all can leave me in the comments.
I understand what you said. Like, season 1 was very geared towards children, and that's what Clone Wars was too. Like, it started off kind of childish. Like the first movie was a little bit childish and stuff, but I just could not get behind the way that Disney was just trying to avoid violence in the show.
But that's just typical Disney.
They're just trying to avoid violence, period. Everybody's getting fired.
But it was I don't know, it was a strange vibe. It felt very childish, and even they didn't want to stay on emotional scenes. Like, they would have Ahsoka versus Darth Vader, and then they would cut to whatever his name is, the main character. I forgot his name. But they would cut to his face
Ezra?
and he'd say, Ezra. And he'd say his, classic Disney one-liner, "Oh no," or whatever the fuck, Disney people say. And then they would cut back to this emotional scene. And it's like, we don't need to keep cutting back to this.
It's also a time that we grew up. We grew up with, like, Tom and Jerry and, stuff like that. It's just it's just different times now. Everybody, is more conscious to what people are watching nowadays. So just Disney doesn't want to be associated with anything that would tarnish their brand, especially because they're collecting every brand known to man.
Yeah, but maybe
Shout out to
Clone
Fox.
Wars.
Y'all about to get scooped.
Who knows? Clone Wars might go back to. It won't be the same, obviously, because of different management. But I think it could approach. I'm gonna give it a chance. It could approach what the original Clone Wars accomplished. But
and
at
the little
this point,
teaser trailer didn't even really give us that much either.
I'm like, at this point, they kind of already have given us everything that we need between, like, episode 2 and episode 3 of Star Wars. I don't really feel like I want any more of the Anakin story between episode 2 and 3.
I think most of the people, the reason why they're doing this, or the reason why people are excited, is because of the characters. The characters are already developed from the last Star Wars, or this can probably be their final one-season stretch or whatever.
Yeah, like, I was hearing that this new season they're coming out with, it's only going to be like 12 or 13 episodes.
The Star Wars one?
Yeah. Clone Wars. That's I think that's what I was hearing.
That's fine.
In terms of Clone Wars, I guess just to wrap it up, I'm going to be watching it. I don't know when I'm going to start watching it.
Right now.
I mean, I could add it to my rotation, but there's so many.
There's so much to watch. Just pick one and
so
go.
That's
my motto. Pick one and go.
The other issue is this is going to be on Disney, like their streaming service, right?
Ah, shit.
Forgot
about
it's not going to be.
That's the news apparently. Like there's
okay.
So in a tweet from Discussing Film, shout out to them. They said during the Clone Wars Comic-Con panel, it was mentioned that the show will be revived on a Disney streaming service, with the streaming service being referred to as Disney Direct.
I don't have time.
I don't have
for
money.
all of these
I don't have
subscriptions.
My current lineup right now. Shout out to Spotify for adding that Hulu Premium.
Let me tell you, let's do a special segment. Ding, ding, ding. Let's move it to the side. Spotify and Hulu. Thank you for looking out for us students. $5. What is the price, the MSRP of Hulu and Spotify put together? What is Spotify right now? It's like $8.
Spotify right now is Spotify is $9.99. And Hulu
$9?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And Hulu
I'm assuming my $5.
Hulu by itself with commercials is $7.99. So that's like 16 something compared to $5 as a student or $12.99 as a regular person. So even if you're not a student, that's still a good deal compared to what you could be paying for both.
So both of y'all, if y'all listening somehow, some way, thank you. That is the bomb.
In terms of Clone Wars, apparently it's going to go on a streaming service. I guess my quick little opinion on it is, I feel like streaming services, they're coming to a point now where it's really just like regular cable.
Streaming services are going to take over. Cable's going to switch to that, and they're going to start doing packages or whatever, because like right now the baby boomers are paying for cable boxes and subscription services, and we're here in our millennial homes got nothing but Netflix and Hulu. So we see what area it's going on or what direction they're going in. So
yeah. You guys want to jump around, or should we just keep going straight down?
What's next? Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I did.
So
let's keep going.
With the as you guys know, Game of Thrones is about to wrap up its show. I can't believe it's been on since 2010. We literally
and I came in extra late. Like
okay,
this previous season is the only season I watched with these guys. Like,
so back in ye olden days, Oscarp and I we had a friend group. This was back in like high school, and so a friend of ours came in, and she was like, "Hey, I'm watching this new show. It's called Game of Thrones." And I think during that time, was it only the first season that was out?
Yeah, it was
that
only the
first
episode.
It was only so during that time. Dang, I forgot. So yeah, during that time, it was only the first season, and so pretty much our whole friend group got hooked, and so we had to live through everything. We had to live through the Red Wedding. We had to live through the was it the Purple Wedding where Joffrey died?
Yeah,
not me.
all that to say,
you scroll through, you're like, oh dang, that happened. Next episode,
next season, and next season, and the next season.
You don't have to wait around 2 weeks to wait for the next.
I'm sorry, you guys were suffering.
All that to say, we literally like grew up as this show was like playing out. So now it's about to wrap up next year. I don't know when the release date's probably going to be. I hope it's like early summer. Because I don't want it like in the middle of summer. That's just my opinion, though.
Let's just talk about how like some of the actors are going on their social medias and saying, "Whoof, just filmed the last title. A lot of blood. And you got Arya. I think only 3 have done it. It's been Arya. It's been Jamie and Danny. Those are the only 3 that have said something that they finished casting.
Maisie didn't even post a picture of her face. She just took a photo of her shoes and was like, "I just got done filming." And we're like, "What is this?
It's a puzzle.
What is this?
Spoiler.
We gotta put together all of the pieces.
What is this Beyonce level like secrecy?
I don't know. Do we have the George R.R. Martin horror film on here?
The horror film? Which one?
He's making a horror film on Netflix.
Is he? I didn't hear about that.
Really? Hold on, let me pause. Hold on. I don't know what this is. I made a mistake. It is not Netflix as I thought it was. It is actually sci-fi. It's coming on sci-fi, and it's a George R.R. Martin film called Night Flyers.
It's actually a show.
Show called Night Flyers.
I remember when this was announced. Okay, so according to George R.R. Martin, the man himself, he says Night Flyers is a haunted house story on a starship. It's Psycho in space. Now, I've never seen Psycho. I feel really bad. I'm showing. God! I am showing my pop culture card.
You need to watch Psycho. Norman Bates. What? Norma.
Okay, it's set in the year 2093. It follows a group of explorers heading away from a dying Earth towards a mysterious craft at the edge of the solar system. This is from Engadget, so we'll link it in the show notes. Their mission is to make first contact with aliens, but the voyage quickly becomes a living nightmare, as things take turns for the worse. Is the threat out there on board or the ship itself? Find out later this year, assuming you don't read the original novella and spoil it for yourself first, of course. That actually sounds really interesting. I will say sci-fi is killing it right now. I know The Expanse is a really cool show. At least a lot of people have said that.
Too much shows. Too many shows.
It was recently canceled, but it got. I think it got picked back up.
Canceled?
It got picked back. It got picked back up.
Why they put it back?
Okay, I just want to sit in these board meetings. I swear.
Sci-fi also has Krypton, which was a very good show in my opinion.
Was past tense?
No, it is. I mean, it is.
Oh, okay.
Like,
it already got canceled.
No.
Second good show they got on.
Good.
They got a new season. If there are any listeners that like Man of Steel, at least for like the settings aspect, don't do that. I actually like Man of Steel.
Oh, Man of Steel was nice.
I
liked
Man
it.
of Steel.
All that to say, Krypton looks like it was actually taken out of Man of Steel. I mean, the graphics, of course, they're like TV graphics, but it's still, especially in like the finale.
It's decent.
In the finale, it looks cinematic. Like, you can watch it on a big screen, and you probably wouldn't tell the difference. Not necessarily.
It's doing better than the Inhumans.
To be honest, sci-fi should have taken the Inhumans.
The what?
Sci-fi should have taken the Inhumans. It's like, and it's sad. But yeah, Night Flyers. It sounds interesting. It sounds like it's right up my alley. So I'll probably check it out.
So is it based off of George R.R. Martin novella?
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a novella
It's
he
a
wrote.
Oh, he wrote it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought. Okay.
Do you guys want to watch the trailer real quick, or should we keep going?
Let's keep going.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
No,
already
we can.
watched it.
You ready? What did you think?
I mean, it was good. It was really good. I mean,
what was one of the takeaways from watching it?
Well, I can see that the horror was very focused on, and that's really odd for me in like TV shows, because horror TV shows is, I never really get the scared factor of it, because you have so much to worry about. You can do it easy in a movie where you can do a couple jump scares or do some psychological thriller where you don't have anything to build on. But if you're doing like a 20-episode movie, like if you're trying to focus on the same quality of horror aspects that you get out of movies, it's not going to come off as great, because you have to do it in a short amount of time, 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. You have to do it consistently throughout the season, so you also have to make sure you're not repetitive, and so on and so forth. So I have to watch it. I can't get it from anything from the trailer as far as, you know, horror films or horror shows, rather.
I mean, hey, it's a new...
Dark was a good one. It was more suspense to me.
Dark was great.
Dark was a really good one. It's a very more adult
If
Stranger
y'all,
Things.
Very adult.
if y'all haven't checked out Dark, just a quick little plug. It's on Netflix. It's a German show, and it's a sci-fi show. It deals with things like time travel and paradoxes, and it also has somewhat of a horror element, even though there's not really a lot of horror. Like, it's more like, it's almost like a
Suspenseful.
It's very suspenseful. I remember when I was watching it, I was like, man, this feels like Stranger Things. And then I got into like episode 2 and 3, and I was like, this is not Stranger Things. This is.
I was wrong.
I don't know. I just love it. Ooh, guys, now's the time to talk about.
Oh my God!
Godzilla.
We're about to talk about Godzilla, and I just watched this beautiful trailer with my personal mom, Vera Farmiga. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but
I think
don't
it's
want
Farmiga or something like that.
Vera F is my mother, and let me get you in this real quick. The cinematography in this, I want to talk about that first, because I'm big on like cameras and the way it looks and the zoom out. I don't like corny little camera angles. This joint was on point. It was just a trailer.
Ooh, the joint is on point. Let's put that on a t-shirt.
The joint is on point on a t-shirt. I'm
Already,
with it.
we already got merch.
We got merchandise.
One.
$40 for a small. If you want an extra large, it's $80. Go big or go home.
Oh my God, my mind.
But no, you had everything was centered. Nothing was centered. Everything was off right, and you had to look into the dynamic range and scopes and all of that. Like, it was just great, and I love the monster detail. All the monsters are large. All of them have something different about them. They're not all the same.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like saying monsters. I like them to have unique. They're going to be different in the movie. I didn't really listen to the dialogue as much. I only watched it once, but I didn't know what they were talking about. But apparently, you know, there's just this type of...
They said something about humans are an infection on the planet, and these
Yeah.
monsters
Yeah,
are
they're-
the fever fighting the infection.
Right, they're coming to tell us to get the fuck away, like any other, you
And
know,
your
monster movie or
mom,
anything like
whatever
that.
the fuck
Like,
her name, Vera.
yeah, Vera,
she-
my mother.
She's saying that she needs to release all of these monsters to kind of destroy humans or something.
Right,
or,
destroy humans
She's
or
going
restore the planet's
full
equilibrium.
Thanos,
You know,
basically.
stupid.
She's like, we gotta kill the population.
Bring them
to
up. We
save
have
the
little
planet.
Thanoses we have to awake. And
Yo, we're in for a ride.
what do you mean? Why you
So, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, is directed by Michael Dougherty, who also...
You heard.
He wrote X2. He wrote X2.
Do not keep reading and not laugh at what the hell I just did.
I'm gonna pray about it. He wrote X2. He directed, produced, and wrote Krampus. I haven't seen Krampus.
That movie
That
was
was fun.
the bomb.
I
loved that movie.
That was so
Remember
fun.
when he was running on top of the houses? I yelled hell no in the theater. Because that shit was creepy. Krampus was a good ass movie. I like that movie. It was a good
He
movie.
wrote X-Men Apocalypse. And I mean, you can have your opinions on that. I wasn't the hugest fan of the movie. I was here for Storm and Nightcrawler.
And what?
X-Men Apocalypse.
Storm was in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic.
That was not Storm. That was something. That was Drizzle.
It was. Didn't she have like a sombra haircut?
Yeah.
Cuando las noches.
Oh, stop. Oh my God. No.
Listen, let me tell you, that was the most underwhelming.
She said came through dripping. Drip, drip. Came through dripping.
Literally.
I can't.
Halle Berry? That was not her. And I'm sorry, I did not get anything out of her. I don't remember one thing she did.
So it wasn't a trailer I was expecting to blow me away at Comic-Con.
But you got blown.
I was here. I was here looking for Aquaman and Shazam. Like, I was like, Aquaman comes out in December. It is July. I need to see something. And Shazam comes out April of next year. I wasn't expecting a Shazam trailer, but then they dropped it. Maybe a teaser, but they dropped like a full 2-minute trailer. We'll get there. But the reason why I love the Godzilla trailer so much is because not only is it a monster movie and it has great cinematography, but it's like the inclusion of Claire de Lune, but more like an orchestral, like thunderous rendition of it, like in the background. It feels like a very... I love trailers that use like classic or classical music effectively, and they're able to get some type of emotion out of you. And like having that classical music in the background mixed with like the different images, and you see all this destruction, and you see people like trying to just live and stuff like that.
With the
it's
classical
like,
music, it's just
I was here for it.
The classical music is big. We know it's big and it's intricate. It's just large with many instruments, and that's what I got from the visuals. Big monster,
One thing,
a little bit of elements, mountains, people running.
It's almost like it's like running up a hill. When the trailer starts out, and like, so you see Millie Bobby Brown, her character. You see her character, and it's almost like she almost gets engulfed with this dust, or like this cloud type thing. And so, as soon as she almost gets engulfed, like the trailer literally comes to like almost like a pause, like it shuts down the noise. And as the trailer's playing out from that moment, from like the logo and the title card and all that, you hear like the little hints of the piano notes. And as the trailer keeps creeping up, and you see like images of the monsters, but they're not actually alive. You know, you have the music playing, but once the monsters actually start coming out, that's when the music like starts creeping up even more, and it's like building into like this cacophonous.
You want to know
like sound
why that happens? Vera.
She did it because of her.
She did it.
Just because of her?
Just because of her. Have you seen her in The Conjuring? She touches people's foreheads and they're cured.
I mean, yeah. I think the Godzilla cast has a lot of people in it.
There's a lot of good people in it.
There's a lot of good people in it. Like
I didn't know they summoned 11.
They summoned her from
took her ass out of another
She broke out of that dimension.
Time to get away from these kids, girls. Time for you to grow up. Let's go, Ellie.
Vera's in it. Millie Bobby Brown is in it. I think his name is Thomas Middleditch from Silicon Valley, which is a very great show. He's in it.
Oh, is he the Verizon guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
O'Shea Jackson is in it. It's a lot of people that you don't expect to see. The Godzilla trailer really like blew me away. I wasn't expecting to really get something like that out of that movie.
Literally ready for the movie, and I asked him before we got on this podcast. I was like, did they make any references to this intricate plot in any of the other movies? I'd never noticed it. I was just like, this is a lot. This has to be thought of.
I don't remember Godzilla 2014. That movie was...
It was a movie.
I
just remember the blue fire.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
I liked it for the slow burn.
Yeah.
It
was trying something new with monster movie.
It was almost like this trailer. It's like you get a little bit of Godzilla, and then as the movie goes on, you get more and more. And
it came out of nowhere though.
The first
Like,
movie?
nobody was expecting it.
Yeah.
Nobody saw this coming. I heard somebody say Godzilla, and I was like, okay. Then I saw it, and I was like, whoa! Let's watch this day one. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think they were planning to do a franchise from that movie.
But it just
they can do one from this one.
No, I mean they are technically. This is the third one.
Okay, they need to
because you have
because I did not get any of that.
welcome to the NerdSpice conspiracy theory subreddit. But so you have Godzilla that came out in 2014, and then you have Kong Skull Island, which when I saw the trailer, I liked it for the 60s, like early 70s aesthetic.
Yeah.
But the movie came out, and I was like, okay, I guess. Kong Skull Island was the second one.
It's the business,
apparently.
and we're gonna stamp it. See,
And-
gonna see it. Boop. We need sound effects.
we'll add it as time goes on. So now Godzilla King of Monsters is the third one, because if you remember, I don't know if anybody stayed. Well, it wasn't after the post credits. It was like they played the credits and then they went to another scene. So Tom Hiddleston's character and Brie Larson's character, if I'm remembering correctly, they go to like this government official place or whatever. And the government's like, yeah, you have Kong, but Kong wasn't the only one. And then they start showing like images and files of like Mothra and other monsters and things like that. Yeah. And so that's what we're getting into now.
I didn't even really pay attention to it. I remember that scene too.
Yeah.
But when I was watching in the theater, I was just like, shut the fuck up. I put my popcorn down. I was ready to go.
Post-credit scene, like, oh god, jeez.
They didn't make me feel like that this was part of a bigger universe, and I didn't even know Kong was a part of Godzilla.
No, it's not.
They're making it work.
They're making it.
They're gonna make it work.
Fuck them.
What?
You need a designed plot. You need to come through with it. I mean, it's cool that you came middle of the game and like, hey, yo, y'all want to do something? And then everybody's like, yeah, I guess that's cool. I'm just salty. Let's see it. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready to see it. So it comes out May 2019.
Ready for it.
There is another movie that's actually coming out November of this year.
Oh.
That movie, which I'm really excited for, is, get ready for this title, guys.
Dun, 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 dun.
J.K. Rowling presents.
Oh my god.
Oh,
okay.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic
and where
trash.
to find them.
I'm sorry.
Stop. That was a smooth transition.
Okay, just a little background.
No. I still need to introduce it.
Fantastic Beasts.
J.K. Rowling presents Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, the crimes of Grindelwald.
Find them in the trash.
You already trashed it. He said J.K. Rowling. You rolled your eyes. J.K. Rowling my eyes.
J.K. Rowling on Harry Potter for that money. At least that's kidding.
Maul has a vendetta against Joanne, and it's hurting me. he ever since Harry Potter ended, there's been some sort of animosity, like towards this.
I'm gonna keep this quick.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that all these extra little literary tidbits about Hogwarts is a little not annoying, but it's like, come on, you might as well just put out another book series.
I never said Harry Potter was straight. I never said Hermione, but she's just keeping it alive, just milking it. Let's see your creative side. But honestly, I'm really excited for Fantastic Beasts. All animosity aside, and I do it for the laughs. But the goddamn Fantastic Beasts, when I saw the first one, I was blown away.
I
loved
first trailer, I saw it in the theaters. I don't know what I was watching, some other movie, who cares? But I watched it in the theaters, and when Dumbledore came on screen, I had to stop myself from screaming because, oh my god,
child,
I am ready for it. I've been waiting for this. Now, I will say, Grindelwald is not my favorite. Not just like put all of the Johnny Depp drama aside, put all of that, all the accusations against him aside. I don't understand why they had Grindelwald in the movies. He was this cute little blonde kid who was like normal looking or whatever. He was in Sweeney Todd, and yeah, look up his name. I don't remember his name, but
Johnny Depp.
No, not Johnny Depp.
Who?
The original Grindelwald in the original.
Oh, it was
look up Sweeney Todd.
He was in Mortal Instruments, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie at least. He was in. You can keep talking. I'm
okay, but anyway, yeah, I thought they had him, so they gave us a look, and J.K. Rowling's kind of been hinting at this romance between Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
Jamie Campbell Bower.
Yes,
That's
him.
a long name.
They had him in the movies when he showed up in the 7th Harry Potter movie, I think. But anyway, and then Johnny Depp comes out of nowhere in the first Fantastic Beasts, and I'm like, okay, who is this? Is this just another like dark wizard, whatever? And then they're like, oh, that's Grindelwald. I'm like, who the fuck? That is #not my Grindelwald. Okay, I did not vote for this. He looked musty. He looked dumpy. He had one. Oh my god.
Oscar's keyword #musty.
I was not about it, especially not because since they'd already established the character, they established the look, they established everything. I don't know how I felt about that. It came out of nowhere and it felt a little bit forced, but
I wish they kept Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell would have been good. Like I would have been.
And plus, he's around Jude Law. I just blanked on his name for a minute.
Oh, Dumbledore.
Jude Law is 45. Colin Farrell is 42. I just looked it up. And so, they're around the same age. Me...
They could have kept that, and I would have been okay with
Johnny Depp is good for the name, and people are going to go see it because he's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets butts in seats. And that's pretty much because of Pirates of the Caribbean.
But didn't the first one do good? Fantastic Beasts?
The first one did okay.
It did well.
I think it did alright.
It wasn't like earth-shattering box office numbers, but he came in at the last second, and everybody was shocked.
$812.5 million.
It is Harry Potter based, but
that's true.
Yeah,
we're really acting like it's some random.
It's some indie film.
It's an indie film. I'm sitting here like, wow, it did so great. It's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm excited for it just because I'm really excited to see where they go. I feel like she could have done. First of all, we didn't need to get any new Harry Potter adjacent movies in general, but Fantastic Beasts was so good. It's like,
I didn't,
I could vibe with this.
I mean, I got some notes, and I can't remember what exactly, but there was some references in there, but it felt like its own thing for the most part. Like it wasn't so reliant, on Harry Potter.
Definitely.
Harry Potter like memorabilia or nostalgia.
They weren't giving us little cameos in the background.
Oh my god, it's the Hogwarts. That's the top of the tower. Oh my god.
They're doing that now, but
But nah, it held its own, and I really liked it. So I'm pretty excited for this one. All beef aside, but also beef. Fuck JK.
But also beef.
# not my JK.
Irritating. Just kidding. So that was the Fantastic Beasts 2 segment. Wanted to thank you for listening to us. It's been going pretty good so far, especially for our first episode. Now we're actually getting into some really good stuff. So we're not saying the first stuff was like bad, but now it's like, okay, this is what they're really like here for. So now we're gonna get into some Marvel stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about, because I'm really excited for it, is the new story trailer that came out for Spider-Man PS4. So we're gonna watch that real quick. And then we're going to come back with some opinions about what we all think.
Ding dong. All right.
So we just got back from watching the trailer. Was that your first time watching it?
Yeah, that was my first time watching the second one.
Okay, so that was my second time watching it. So I'll ask you guys what you think.
Let me cut into this thing, all right? Let me give you this Spider-Man, games. I played a lot of them, most of them, if anything. Web of Shadows is still my hard favorite because it was just fucking fun. It was just nonsense fun. Combat system was on point. Swinging around the city. That's when the swinging system was actually, they improved it a lot on the previous games like Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Web of Shadows and Shattered Dimensions, I believe it's called. Those were good too. But this trailer, what I really like about this one is all of the heroes. I mean, all of the villains, sorry. All of the villains coming at him like that first trailer was golden. Or the gameplay trailer, rather. That was from E3.
Jesus.
That gameplay trailer was orgasmic. And this trailer was pretty good, I kind of felt like it was more of a, the introduction of Silver Sable. That was cool, but she didn't really do nothing. But she didn't! She rolled around twice. And... But in the first trailer, you seeing the gameplay, so I'm guessing that's why it's it was more favored by me. But I mean, it was just what we saw at E3. They're coming up against him, coming to stop him, making him the enemy of the state, Batmaning Spider-Man up. I'm really excited for this game because nobody Nobody dislikes a good Spider-Man game. Flying around, free roam. I think this is free. This is definitely free roam. It has to be. In order for it to be good.
It better be.
It better be free roam and stuff like that.
It has to be.
Then you had
It's like swing to
it
this
is.
ring.
It's like one of the things you can do. You can swing around New York, but you can also walk around New York and take selfies. Well, yeah,
you could do that in the other games too, like swinging around and landing on the ground and walking around and punching cars and shit.
But I mean, I think even this is more open.
Oh no, this is way more open. It's only going to get better because of the systems and things going up and stuff like that.
Didn't they say in an interview like a while back? Most games, it's kind of like vertical, in a sense, in terms of like expanse, but this one's more like horizontal. I might be thinking of another.
What do you mean?
Horizontal in a sense, like it spreads out instead of like,
Yeah, like Batman is kind of a vertical game with like in the city. I know that you're exploring buildings and stuff, but you're really in just one building, and it can take you an hour or two to complete one building, but really overall the area of the city is like very small.
Yeah.
So it's not very horizontal. It's like.
So I'm thinking with this one, because you're swinging around so much, I think this one is horizontally expansive in a sense, like you're able to explore so many facets of the city, and not just the city, like subways, new places. What if you can go in a restaurant? That'd be pretty cool.
It's like Grand Theft Auto. You can go in some places, but you can't go in every building.
Yeah.
The building. If you can go inside the building, it's specifically designed for it to be explored.
Yeah.
But this Spider-Man game, I'm super excited for because it's a new engine. It's fresh. Got all the villains. Was Mysterio in this?
Who?
Mysterio wasn't in the first one.
Oh, I didn't see him.
He wasn't in the first one. No, I don't think he was.
The ones I know that are in there.
You got Rhino. You got
Rhino, Electro, Scorpion. Silver Sable's in there. Negative is in there. They better bring him in a DLC pack. I'm not playing. That is my favorite villain to fight. I love Sable too. They still haven't revealed the mastermind. Oh, Kingpin's in there. But I don't know how long, and I don't know.
Oh yeah, I saw them finding. He kicked him.
He kicked him, but then he was in jail in the other trailer.
Yeah, so I don't know what capacity he's going to be.
I don't know what timeline they were
in the movie,
but it sounds like they were both introduction of heroes. But it's whatever. Yeah. And then you got the Miles there, so I know he's going to be an active part of the story. Thank God. I think.
Yeah.
But he's an active part of the story, and he's running around with them, so that's great.
A lot of people don't really care for Miles, but I think for the video game, it's a good way to explore another character.
Yeah.
And also get more play out of the game. Because you can always play as Peter.
Character development.
And maybe you can play as...
And what if they do a sequel where Miles becomes Spider-Man?
Yeah, and people will get more acquainted with this character.
You're going to make it a sequel. Make it a progressive sequel.
Yeah.
Make the characters, if Peter dies, who's going to be the next one? You see him picking up the mask and putting it on or some shit like that. That's how you make shit interesting. People are going to want to pick up the second game. I think there's going to be a really good focus because I'm taken back to a lot of game developers talking about story one-player games are dying. Fuck you. Look at this. Horizon. Hellblade. Blah, blah, blah. I can talk about it for days. But, I'm really excited. This single-player head-ass game is coming to the system. And I'm ready for it to snatch everyone's edges.
They're about to say it's like Spider-Man Online. Everybody is Spider-Man.
I will kill them. All right, just keep this.
We got 10 people swinging in at the different
I can see this being like something like Mirror's Edge, where the only thing that will be online are stats and and speed runs. So in the previous Spider-Man games, they would have speed runs where you would start at one point and then you'd have to dive off the building, swing through here, and da-da-da. It's like an obstacle course for Spider-Man. Yeah. And whoever did it the fastest, obviously, was the gold medal and shit like that. So that's the only thing I can see them doing online, like Mirror's Edge type shit. But if they... Spider-Verse, you should have did that with Shattered Dimensions if you wanted to do a multiplayer Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep this single player, and we're going to keep it story-centric. I'm excited to see where Miles... And that's Gwen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Mary Jane?
Mary Jane. I'm thinking of Spider-Verse. Why am I thinking of Spider-Verse?
What did I say? I said Gwen.
You said Gwen.
Who is Gwen?
Gwen is the dead girlfriend.
Oh. Snap! Oh, snap! I didn't realize. Shit.
But, no.
So she's dead at this point in the game?
I mean, I figured. Well,
they might not even introduce
in the game,
her,
Peter's 23.
So I'm
assuming it's been some time.
Yeah, she definitely dead at this point.
So let's, I'm ready to see where they go. Hopefully Miles takes the mantle in the sequel. I'm already talking about the sequel. The first game's not even out yet. Let's get it. I'm ready to play it.
I'm excited. this is the first Spider-Man game I'm playing as it comes out.
I
and
popped
so,
his game cherry. I'm ready for him to play all these games. I've been encouraging this guy to get game system for the longest. I am ready for him to play this.
When I tell you I dropped $300, which is, I mean, it's typical for a game system. I dropped $300 because I was like, I'm getting this game. So when it finally comes out,
You have been waiting.
Yes, I've been waiting. I remember that first trailer from 2017 E3. Was it 2016?
For what, this?
Yeah. It was one trailer.
This one.
No,
it was not this one.
No. It was 2017, was it?
Yeah.
When they were like, we're coming out, and then they're like, oh, it'll be released early 2018. And then they were like, psych, is actually coming out late 2018.
Well, anytime you need to take to make this game beautiful, you take it.
I mean,
what's
of
the
course.
release date now?
September 7th.
Okay, it's almost there.
Excuse me?
Yeah, September 7th.
What the fuck am I thinking November for?
Why are you thinking November?
Podcast canceled? I'm about to play this game.
Because of Fantastic Beasts.
Jesus Christ, so many dates. What?
We need to have a little
Will we ever do a
calendar
review session?
Fuck yes! I'm gonna play this game all the way to fuck through on the whole weekend.
we should have a little calendar section with all the the release dates of everything we're talking about.
That would be fucking beautiful.
Well, oh yeah, that's true.
That would be fucking beautiful. I don't get a physical one. I have a whiteboard behind my head, but I don't use it. I'm gonna get some screws and put it up there.
In more Spider-Man related news, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came to Comic-Con. They didn't release a new trailer, which I didn't expect them to because they already released another one months ago. But they came and they showed some clips, and apparently there's going to be more Spider characters in here.
Beautiful.
Like I know,
Ghost Spider.
So I know in the preview trailer it was just Miles.
Yeah.
And then in a new one, they had Peter, a much older Peter.
Yeah.
And then they had Gwen at the very end. But apparently, they're also going to have Spider-Man Noir, played by Nicolas Cage.
Let me tell you.
Nicolas Cage.
Penny Parker, played by Kimiko Glenn. So that sounds like, I don't know who she is, but that's pretty cool. And Spider-Ham, played by John Mulaney. At least those were...
The little piggy?
Yes. Those are the characters that were shown
be animated
in
horribly.
Comic-Con. What do you think that?
I don't know.
The movie has a unique animation style that I appreciate.
That I think a pig would fit into.
And they said in the clips that they showed at Comic-Con, like, you have Miles, and whenever he's thinking, you have the little comic bubbles. Oh. Like, you'll have the actual captions pop
That's going to be hot. I'm ready for this movie.
That's kind of cool.
Even in the trailer, he's running, and as he's running, obviously it's like once he gets the spider bite, because he's thinking, and he's like, I can't have powers, I'm just a regular kid, maybe it's puberty. They actually have the comic panels, like, showing up next to his head as he's running. Because he's thinking about it as he's running.
Trying to be like Comixology.
There's another scene where Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is fighting the Goblin of that universe. And when he smashes against, like, I think it's like one of the subway cars, he smashes against it. The way they animated it, he smashes against it as if you're splattering paint onto a panel. Which is it's different, but like it's very unique.
Kind of reminded me of that anime Batman that they did.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
one. Unique, I need to watch that.
It's still kind of
was it really good?
Faithful to the comics.
But yeah, they have like their animation style is very unique. So however they do Spider-Ham, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be.
It'll fit in with
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Spider-Ham.
I'm excited for that
movie. Bacon.
It seems like it's something different, and hopefully they're not focusing on, instead of focusing on we got to make a sequel, we got to make a universe, we got to make a prequel, and we got to make a franchise. They're just like, we're going to have fun with this. It's going to be animated.
It feels...
And it'll be just a fun it'll be a fun movie.
It feels fresh. We're all really excited. I don't want to see anything else at this point. I just want to see the movie. I want to be able to explore it for myself. I've seen enough.
Release the fucking movie. No more trailers, thanks. How about that?
Still along the Spider-Man train, Venom also came to Comic-Con.
Not Venom.
Stop. Okay.
Do you want your fries?
All right. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. And I'm just looking into some comments pretty much just about this whole movie. So pretty much the reason why Tom Hardy took it is because he said his son is a massive Venom fan. and he was a strong influence on why Tom Hardy should play Venom specifically. He wanted to do something that his son could watch.
Oh, God.
Which is admirable. I mean, like, you know, it's like Ben Affleck. Is his son's favorite character Batman? I don't know. He did it for his kids, but... You said what?
A lot of people have children who want to do that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That is such...
It's hard to please billions of people.
I know it is, but...
When you just want
I'm
to
not mad at Tom Hardy being casted at this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, can we... I don't even think people knew Venom was his own thing. They always thought he was an attachment to Peter Parker.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
That's what Spider-Man 3.
I don't see issues with it because Tom Hardy's not an actor that people hate. Like,
Yeah.
if it was an actor that nobody liked,
Kevin Spacey.
and that actor got the role of Venom, if somebody was like, "Why'd you take the role?" and he's like, "I did it because my kids want to see me do it," people would be like, "Well, we don't want to see you do it."
Exactly. Like, I can't say
with Tom Hardy.
I can't say I'd rather have somebody who's like, I fucking love Spider-Man, like, or I don't. It's just that reason. It's just common, but I like Tom Hardy.
It's common.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah,
I like it. Go ahead, go for it. But
go on.
I mean, the trailer didn't disappoint me as much as I thought it was going to be because when it was first being talked about, they were like, "We're going in a comedy direction," and I'm like, "It's Venom." But no, I didn't get that at all from this trailer. Thank God. So I mean, what was the trailer? I can't even remember.
I think
Venom's
had
a little
watched
bit
it once.
scary. It was like things change you, and there's something inside of you. Whatever, like typical.
What is he doing?
Scary
What is his
movie.
goal?
His goal?
He's
Okay.
infected with Venom.
Yeah.
And did he want to kill his
goal.
wife's killer, or am I confused?
Well, no, he's not dead. You're probably thinking of Upgrade,
Yeah.
which was a really good movie. Plug, but
Plugged.
Let me tell you.
for Venom, I think the plot is pretty much you have Tom Hardy who's playing Eddie Brock, who lives in San Francisco with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend works at this science company run by Carlton Drake. The company is pretty much run by Riz Ahmed's character, and they're the ones to find the symbiote, as they say it. Like, they're the ones to find the symbiote. And so they're the ones experimenting on it. So pretty much Eddie Brock is like investigating this case because a lot of the people who go in to do these experiments are dying. So he's trying to like uncover the conspiracy behind this company using the symbiotes, trying to like make not their version of a super soldier, but like whatever they're trying to do. I still don't know what they're trying to do necessarily. And so Carlton Drake is the one in charge of all of this. The trailer pretty much shows that Eddie Brock gets the symbiote somehow. So the movie is Carlton Drake trying to get the symbiote back from Eddie, but Eddie's also using the symbiote to do anti-hero type stuff. So that's the movie. As far as the trailers have told us, I don't know too much else. I told myself from the get-go that I was going in because of Tom Hardy. I'm a Tom Hardy fan. I like Tom Hardy. Even though I know this movie is not welcomed by a lot of people, I think it could be very interesting. The interesting thing is a lot of people were really blown away by the footage that was shown at Comic-Con. Or not blown away, but they were like...
they were showing footage of the actual...
Yeah,
they were showing footage of the
hush,
actual... Yeah, they kept the hush-hush.
They haven't seen it.
We haven't seen stuff.
So they liked it.
The people in Hall H, they said it was really good. So let's see.
The only people who signed up for the conference are Venom fans. Stop. Nah, I'm
so apparently,
I'm excited.
I'm gonna still watch it.
I mean, I'm not excited for it, but I'm gonna watch it. I got Movie Pass, so it's not gonna hurt.
Free advertisement. Send us money.
You're welcome.
So apparently, in the movie, Venom faces off against another symbiote, which I expected, but it might not be Carnage, which is weird because I thought that's what.
So it's gonna be a made up villain.
It's probably
people are saying Riot, who is another character in the Spider-Man mythos. Or Venom mythos, I should say.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's going to be Carnage. They may... God, I just thought they would get a sequel. But...
Going a little ahead there.
All I know is Woody Harrelson is in this movie.
Tired.
Who?
Woody Harrelson.
Really? Is he playing himself?
I thought he was playing Carnage. That's the thing. There's also another rumor that Riz Ahmed's character is going to be another symbiote, which would make sense. I can see them doing that. It also says that the footage showed Venom's head stretching out of Brock's body to have a conversation with him, similar to what might happen in the comics, and Venom making axes with his own hands. And this is from Hollywood Reporter, like I said. Ooh. In another scene, Venom has a bad guy in his grip and utters this line where he seems to eat him, though that isn't shown. Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
He gonna eat him.
Wait, was that in script?
Like, apparently, it's in quotes.
He's gonna eat him.
That was not cute. That was not something. I'm not gonna go to a Tom Hardy movie.
Another one.
Eyes, pancreas, lungs. Oh my.
Another one says. Another one says. At one point, Venom is at his local market when he eats someone, or perhaps just really, really hurts them. He turns back into Eddie Brock, to which he tells his regular cashier, "I have a parasite."
Okay.
I mean, we can't really judge based off of what somebody else has said.
We can't really judge based off the quotes.
Based off the trailer, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, that trailer was pretty sweet, so I'm in there. Stamped.
I just feel like Venom has a really weird marketing campaign to me. Yeah. Because when the first trailer came out, they didn't show any Venom. So it's like, okay, your movie's named Venom. You have Tom Hardy, but we don't see Venom in the first trailer.
Maybe they didn't.
But teeth are on the O, okay.
Yeah. The second trailer comes out, and they give us a little bit more of the story, but it's like, okay, but where's Venom? And then we get to see Venom. Venom looks cool. I mean, he looks like Venom. But that's it. So, and then we didn't see any Comic-Con stuff. So your movie's coming out in October, and it's July right now. So I really don't know what else we're about to get. No. We may get one more trailer before the movie, but
we probably will.
We'll probably get another trailer.
I mean, just one more. When does it come out again?
October...
Nope, we're not getting another trailer.
5th.
Nope.
No, we might. I mean, it's July, August, September, October. That's
like
a 3 months. Really 3 months and a few more days.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's close, but movie studios don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not gonna watch that trailer.
Look at Star Wars. They drop a trailer like 2 months before.
Well, they were desperate.
But yeah, that's Venom. Hopefully it does well. I'm not saying I want it to do well in a sense that I want it to get a sequel.
You don't want to get a sequel? We don't need a sequel.
We don't need a whole series on this.
I would rather have this just be a Logan scenario. Just give me one movie and just be done with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Logan was good.
That's what I'm saying. I want Venom.
This needs to be good too.
I want Venom to be good, where I feel like I don't need another sequel. Like, it's fine as it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of superhero movies
Sony has to make
could do that.
Yeah, Sony has to make that money. The type of,
but see,
they're not the type of producers to just let this franchise die. They're gonna keep pushing.
If I was in charge of Sony, I would say, forget all the live action stuff. Keep your Spider-Man. Keep your Spider-Man stuff going.
They have to. They want that license.
I'm saying,
they gotta keep releasing them.
Keep your Tom Holland Spider-Man franchise going, and keep the animated movies going. That's all I would do. Don't do anything.
Do the animated movies count towards the contract?
Yeah, that's using the property.
Because it's still the property.
Marvel makes sense.
But see, with animation, there's so much more you can do, and that's another reason why I'm excited for Into the Spider-Verse, because it's like we can actually see a true to form Spider-Man comic book movie.
I've been wanting that forever. Like, I've been saying, like, these directors, they be sleeping on animated films.
Okay, but you're getting it now. Yeah. You're getting it now.
I know I'm getting it now, but I've been asking for it for 8 years. I'm telling them, like, DC comes up with these animated movies, but they don't push them to theaters.
DC animated films
one
of the greatest
they are
films, and they don't push them enough. And
all I'm saying is, let Sony do the animated movies. More studios should get into animation. It's a very good field.
Definitely.
Don't just let Disney and Pixar come out with theirs, even though their movies are really good too.
Yeah.
Just have more. Just give us more.
We need more variety instead of this emoji movie, bland ass.
Do animated movies?
Sony too?
Yeah,
yes.
Sony.
They were desperate.
Do animated movies do well though? In comparison to live action.
See, with animated movies, it depends on the brand. If it's Disney and Pixar,
well, I know they're going to be up there, but they're probably scared that they're not Disney or Pixar.
Well, and it was trash.
Did it? I never saw it.
Did it do well?
I didn't watch it, but
there was a time where DreamWorks was doing pretty good.
When Shrek was out,
Yeah.
Okay, but they had
They
other
doing,
movies.
aren't they
They
doing
did-
How to
they
Train
did
Your
do-
Dragon? Who's
Yeah,
that?
that's
Yeah,
them.
that's
So that's a
DreamWorks.
good one.
They did
They're
Rise of the
still up there.
Guardians.
Yeah, so
Rise of the Guardians was pretty good.
I didn't see that one either.
Illumination is just sticking to their minions.
If you guys haven't seen Rise of the Guardians, you should check it out. It's a nice movie.
It was a nice movie. Yeah,
It's a nice
I liked
movie.
it.
I just feel Sony should stick to their animated movies. They don't need to do because now they're trying to plan a Morbius movie
Can y'all
with
stop?
Jared Leto, and it's like
Can y'all stop? This is coming from NerdSpice. Just stop.
stamped and approved. Like, and I only tell them to stop because it's like I don't know. I feel like some.
Josiah's just tired.
I'm
We're just
tired.
We're tired.
Like,
It's funny we lost all our energy talking about Venom.
let's get back on something because we lost energy talking about Venom and we going right in the
Is
Iron
that what I
Fist.
think it is? Is that next topic what I think it is?
Oh,
It's Iron Fist.
Iron shit too.
Netflix,
No.
Marvel. Let's get into this.
It's okay. So moving away from Spider-Man.
Can I
stuff,
say this first though? For Iron,
Okay, so the next topic is Iron Fist season 2, the trailer that I did embark on. But
I did not.
I just want to
watch that
say
trailer.
the contrast. This is probably going to help any argument that I have in this whole conversation. The contrast of the quality of Danny Rand's character from Luke Cage season 2 and his own series was so astronomical. He was so much better in Luke Cage 2 than he was in his own throughout his whole series. Now, I understand it was his first series. He was also, by the way, he was also better in Defenders.
Defenders, yeah.
It was his first series.
They put no.
He
money
didn't
behind
really
it.
know how to.
They put no budget. It's just season 1.
They didn't really know where to go with them. New character, never heard of them. I never heard of Jessica Jones, but Jessica Jones is played by a brilliant actress.
Amazing
Luke
actress.
Cage.
How
Sorry,
ironic-
minority crowd.
How ironic is it that the most richest character from Marvel Netflix got the cheapest show? Like you're literally the richest character technically in the Marvel Netflix universe, and your show was like dirt poor.
But
like,
there's
they
nothing he
didn't-
can relate it to. Like the only people that I could see that this would relate to, like, or not relate to, but appeal to, is those. You know, I woke up on Saturday morning and turned on Jackie Chan, watch Kung Fu type shit, and I did. So, you know, when I was reading up on the Iron Fist before his show came out, and I was, you know, I used to be that kid, Last Dragon, Jackie Chan, Who Am I, like them old movies.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was like, oh, this Iron Fist dude, he's one of the best martial arts combats in Marvel. Then I turn it on, and some ramen noodle hair, white guy sweatpants is walking around, and his fist is a nightlight for bad guys. And I couldn't get behind the show because it was just corny. I see what they could have done with it, but they just the script was trash. But when Defenders comes around, I'm like, oh, so you are good, and your glutes are good. Wow.
I did like that scene at the end of Defenders when he's like sitting in the dojo
Yeah.
and Colleen
Yeah.
comes in and he's like kind of by himself and she's like, "Are you all right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "How do you feel?" And he's like, "I feel like I'm home." Or he says something like that. And I'm like, "Oh, you do have
Okay.
character."
Yeah.
It's like
He's
you're
got emotion. He's
Was the
got-
director different from Iron Man 1 to Defenders?
yeah. There's nothing against
It's a problem. I found the problem. Like
nothing against Finn Jones. I think he's a fine actor. He was good on Game of Thrones while he was still there. But he was good on Game of Thrones. It's just I feel like Iron Fist for what it was season 1. I watched probably the first 6.
you didn't finish it?
No.
I didn't even start that season. You know now.
I tortured myself. I watched
No,
all of
I
it.
don't have
Do you know
the
how bad this
time.
is? I didn't finish. I got through half of Iron Fist. I watched Defenders, but that's only because we watched like the first 4 episodes and then I finished it.
Yeah.
I didn't finish Jessica. I watched the first episode of Jessica Jones season 2,
Okay.
and
I finished that too.
I didn't watch Luke Cage season 2.
Man, oh my God. We're going to talk about this later. I
Right now,
want to go on a tangent.
Well, there's nothing.
This is SDC. This is San Diego Comic-Con. Let's just...
We're gonna have to do a whole nother episode.
We are
If we're
doing a
gonna
whole other
rant.
episode on Marvel Netflix series. And
Right now.
if y'all really want to do that, that's going to be episode probably 2 or 3. I don't know. But is coming.
Have y'all seen the little trailer? They put out like a 50-second trailer.
I saw the
did
trailer.
not care enough.
You saw
for
it?
I did.
Okay,
I did not watch
I
it.
can't tell if it's going to be better or worse. It was the same thing they showed
To
me for the
me-
first trailer.
to me, I like the cinematography behind it. I feel like it was different because they did the same thing they did for the first trailer. He's like walking through a street, but in the first trailer he's barefoot. In this trailer he has shoes.
Ooh.
So I'm,
Whoa! My God!
and so
Development.
character development. And so,
What the fuck?
Gross.
But I don't
can't
know.
do it.
I think it was like the cinematography. He feels different in this trailer. I'm not saying that
I
season
hope
2
he's different.
is going to be great because of that. I'm just saying I feel this one's a little bit
Here's
different.
my hope. Is the director the same from season 1?
Scott Buck, no. He's
Okay,
gone.
good.
Marvel trivia. Scott Buck, who show ran Iron Fist, also did Inhumans, if that tells you anything.
It's not a coincidence. I'm so sorry, Finn, with your beautiful glutes. And I want to formally apologize for what you had to endure. However, season 2, what I was going to hope for was that he would translate what he's learned from playing in Defenders and Luke Cage into this show. And just play that character, because that's what we want to see. He was so good, not relatable, but he was very very eccentric. He was more relatable to his comic book self, and his comic book self is more he's not peppy, but he has charisma.
Yeah.
So
He's not just a dry ass
Well-
white boy walking into the room.
But one of the things that I think is going to bring people into the show is the inclusion of Typhoid Mary as the main villain. I don't know too much about Typhoid Mary.
I don't know anything about her.
I have never heard of her.
She's also called Bloody Mary in Mutant Zero.
What are her powers?
Let's see
What
some
can
of her
she do?
powers. Her powers include highly skilled athlete, trained martial artist,
Everybody.
exceptional
All
swordswoman, excellent
Elektra.
physical condition,
Elektra.
pyrokinesis, telekinesis,
Ooh.
limited. Y'all really said ooh like they're not working on the budget.
Oscar. Teach her how to put that fire.
That fire out. They better get a
Limited mind control. And in her Mutant Zero armor, she has enhanced strength and arsenal of bladed weapons.
Now,
Why
in the
is she-
show, this is gonna translate.
Okay,
to
her
something.
armor is very revealing.
She's
being
being played. She's going to
be.
be played by Alice Eve, who was in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Never seen her before.
She was the blonde girl in Star Trek Into
she
Darkness.
stripped.
Thanks.
Like, I forgot Star Trek even had a reboot or whatever the fuck those.
Damn,
movies
I
were.
can't remember her face. I don't remember which one she was.
I remember she got naked for a scene, and I was like,
Did she?
okay. Yeah, because
She's pretty. We'll see how she does.
She was in Black Mirror.
Oh,
Where?
She was
awkward.
Naomi from Nosedive. She was the best.
Oh.
Whoa!
Okay.
Epiphany!
Now I know who she is.
I know who she is now. Doo-doo-doo. Like, boop, boop, boop.
Sorry, we love Black Mirror.
That's another plug. If you haven't seen Nosedive from Black Mirror, it's on Netflix.
That's the one
It's-
episode. Watch the whole series.
Listen,
Except maybe that black and white episode. What's it called?
but Black
The dog?
Mirror, Black Mirror is a show. You don't have to watch the whole show. You
Yeah,
can
you can
literally
just
just
watch
watch an
it.
episode and
True.
be done. Season 3, episode 1, Nosedive. Just watch that one. But yeah, she's going to be. That's interesting. Now that I know that,
I hope
that's-
they do a cameo. What did you say to me, Danny?
He's like, oh, nothing. I'm just checking my phone.
That's Iron Fist season 2.
Ready for it?
I guess. Like,
At
You
this
know-
point,
do you
I'm
know
not
the-
even. I
do
might
you know
not
the
even
funny
watch
thing?
it.
Huh?
do you know the funny thing?
What?
It comes out the same day as Spider-Man PS4.
Bye.
So guess
Iron
what I'm
who?
doing?
Iron controller, PS3.
The only
Damn.
ironing I'm going to be doing is ironing my shirt so I can go to the store. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the first part of the NerdSpice Podcast San Diego Comic-Con episode. We hope you had a good time so far. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out the next parts once they're released. Also, you can find us on Twitter at NerdSpicePod. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one.